Good night, Papua New Guinea, and welcome to this week's episode of Sports Scene. It's always great to have your company. I'm Elijah Lavette.
And I'm Godwin Eki.
Yes, we have a great show lined up for you, but Godwin, during the week or after the Pacific Games, I'm pretty sure you've covered some really interesting events that have happened.
Well, it's been very busy few days. During the Pacific Games for us, we've been busy behind the scenes doing all the coverage, back home for the Pacific Games, while our team in Samoa were busy. But we've covered a few local sports, local stories that we've also found interesting throughout the week. But over the weekend, on Sunday, we were at the Rugby Union finals.
Yeah, Saturday, bro.
Saturday, yeah. It was a great turnout.
Yeah, a really good turnout at the Capital Rugby Union Grand final. Also, I covered some football as well. So, yeah, we have that all coming up later on. Yeah, kickboxing as well. And that's all coming up later on in the show. But let's take a look at what we have in store for you on tonight's program. And we have all that and more coming up later on in the show, but we begin with the Capital Rugby Union season final coming to a close over the weekend with the Kramer Auscenco Brothers victorious over the Harlequins Club. The Harleys were left joyless with a 26-12 loss to the Brothers, a replay from last season's grand final. The Brothers dominant in the rucks and breakdowns, the Harleys poor ball handling a pain.
That's right. Now, the Brothers had the boot of Eugene Tokovai to tank with Tokovai, converting the penalty kicks 3 from 4 to be exact. Now, Kramer Auscenco Brothers are the 2019 Pacific Industries Cup winners in the Capital Rugby Union competition. Take a look.
It was the Kramer Auscenco Brothers versus the Harlequins. The Saturday atmosphere at the field was colourful. The flags were out for both teams. It was a great day for rugby union. The Kramer Auscenco Brothers took out the Pacific Industries Cup as the 2019 premiers, coming out victorious over Harlequins 26 points to 12. Exciting times ahead for the Capital Rugby Union with a number of international tournaments and provincial tournaments ahead. Corey Chen, president of Capital Rugby Union, is excited at the opportunity available for players of CRU to take part in the tournaments.
The National Provincial Championships. We have Oceania Cup coming back to PNG, so International Rugby being played back in Port Moresby. So that's very good for our CRU comp because a lot of our players will have an opportunity to represent Papua New Guinea. Beyond that, we have the Oceania qualifiers for sevens. So we've got a whole month of sevens coming up in September. So we'll have Brothers sevens, we'll have CRU sevens. So there's a lot installed in terms of sevens rugby as well.
Pacific Industries General Manager Ashley Chu is impressed with the level of rugby union played by the teams at CRU, and as a major sponsor is excited of the progress by the management of the competition.
It's really good to see the development that's happened under this management. You could see today that the standard of the game, as Luke pointed out, PNG is going to be on the map soon. We have the raw talent. It's about developing those talents and ensuring that our players stay disciplined.
Pacific Industries will continue to support the growth of rugby union in Capital Rugby Union, but also on a wider scale moving forward. The introduction of referee Luke Maloney from Queensland Rugby Union was also good to help improve the officiating standard of Capital Rugby Union.
That was the most exciting part for me actually today. I know we've always known that PNG is a pool of talent, but having the way that these guys played, the ways that they responded to the refs, they made some mistakes. There was some yellow cards given, but there was no carry on.
And again, congratulations to the Kramer Auscenco Brothers. I think this is their third year in a row.
I would say about
They
that,
played
yeah.
the Harleys last year as well. They beat them. This year they played them. I think the previous year was the Piggies. But yeah, Kramer Auscenco Brothers are just setting the benchmark in rugby union in PNG.
I think it only calls that the level of rugby union has really risen in terms of looking at these two teams every year in, year out, making it to the final. So it really tells a lot about rugby union and how far we have come.
Yeah, and, of course, the Harlequins are building again, rebuilding the team. The Kramer Auscenco Brothers have a lot of experienced players from the Puk-Puks in their side, but the level of competition has
and
surely
I think
risen.
Speaking of experience, and you're saying talented players, also like during the weekend while we were at the field, we've seen so many other young players who can really be in the Puk-Puks team.
Yeah, and again, congratulations to the Kramer Auscenco Brothers. We look forward to seeing more development in rugby union over the years. Anyways, we'll head out for a few short messages and we'll be back with more of Sports Scene. Welcome back to the show, now still on Rugby Union. For the first time as part of raising the level of rugby in PNG, Capital Rugby Union had the opportunity of having Luke Maloney from Queensland Rugby Union Referees Association last week, who refereed at the grand final match between the Harlequins and the Brothers.
Now, Maloney said the level of rugby PNG displayed on the field was of an international standard and one that certainly has the potential to bring out some of PNG's best rugby union talents. Take a look.
For the first time, Capital Rugby Union had the privilege of having a representative referee from Queensland Referees Association to help ref the grand final. Referee Luke Maloney says PNG has something special to showcase for the sport of rugby and that it is exciting times for rugby in PNG.
I'm very happy at what the competition level here in PNG is. It's getting up to that world standard, which is really exciting times. The structures seem to be put in place by Capital Rugby and the PNG Rugby Union, which is good. And it seems that the clubs are adopting that and the players are on the field as well. So I think it's an exciting time for rugby in PNG. I think we're looking here at a sleeping giant, and the other Pacific nations better look in their rearview mirror, because I honestly believe PNG Rugby is going to be a world beater soon.
Maloney says PNG can certainly learn a thing or two from Rugby Australia, in this case Queensland, to develop rugby in all levels from competition to administrative processes.
Absolutely, and I think in Australia we've had our rugby for a long time. It's a business for us, and I think that Australia can definitely play a role in developing and helping PNG grow their rugby, not just as referees, but referee coaches and administratively as well. It would be great to see some PNG referees and administrators and players also continue to come to Brisbane, and particularly. Maybe we can get some in the Queensland Reds team, hopefully.
Here in PNG for the first time, Maloney says PNG is very lucky to have a family atmosphere when it comes to rugby union and the crowds that follow rugby.
My last rugby trip was to Christchurch, so I'm very happy to be here. I didn't bring a jumper and I was very excited to not have to wear one, so it's fantastic. PNG is just a beautiful place. It's you've got something very special here. The rugby atmosphere is exactly what rugby's supposed to be and what we always crave, that family atmosphere, and other sporting codes don't have what we have. We're very lucky, and PNG's doing it really well, so congratulations. Really, you're very lucky with what you've got here.
Yes, Godwin, and it's good to have Luke Maloney come over to Papua New Guinea to referee that grand final match. And you know how they were saying to improve the game, we have to learn, a few more things that need to be learned for the game to, progress. And it was good to see Luke Maloney here to referee that game.
Yeah, I think for the first time, Luke Maloney from Queensland Referees Association, to have him on home soil and ref one of our national sport as well, rugby union, it only boosts the level of competition itself, not only the sport but of rugby union, but to see so many young talents and of course some of our Puk players, it just brings the level of competition to another level. So to have Luke here in PNG, it was his first time. He really enjoyed the game. The atmosphere was great. It was a family sport where, usually people go out with their families and watch the game. So to have him in PNG, I think Capital Rugby Union has taken another step forward in terms of lifting the standard of rugby union in PNG.
And during that match, he dished out 3 yellow cards to the Harlequins players, and they were sent out. And there was something where, like he said, was for, in a grand final match for him to give out 3 yellow cards. He was saying that this will only help these teams and these players develop their game.
Yeah, well, I guess the sport is not just about playing rugby union and knowing the basics of the competition itself. It has to be of a certain standard. If we want to reach international standard, then we might as well follow up with the rest of the world.
And I'm pretty sure we're going to get there one day.
We are already there.
And now moving over to boxing, a lot of credit has to be given to Team PNG's boxing team that attended the Pacific Games. Arriving at the Games Village in Apia, Samoa, it soon became evident that they would have to use the backyard or their living quarters as a training venue days before their fights.
Now, with already 5 months of training under their belts, it was only a matter of staying fight ready in the days leading up to their fights. Take a look.
Team PNG boxing team set out for Savai'i Island in the second week of the Games. Among them were the likes of 2015 Pacific Games gold medalist Thaddeus Katoa, John Ume, and new faces in the likes of Flora Loga, Laizani Soma, and Warren Warupi. While Thaddeus Katoa was there to retain his title in the 60 kg division, this would in fact be baptism for Loga, Soma and Warupi into the biggest fighting ring in the region. John Ume and Flora Loga would be the first 2 to come away with gold medals. Now for Flora, this is a great start for a debutante and is something she is still in awe of, acquiring a gold medal in the 51 kg women's division.
Yes, it's my first time being here, taking part in this Pacific game. And the first time I stepped into the ring, I was a bit nervous because it was my first time playing in this big event, taking part in this big event, and I'm happy that I won gold. I'm happy that I made my country proud, my family proud, and my friends, and also my coaches and everyone that supported me.
And fellow female boxer Laizani Soma had to settle for silver in the 60 kg event, but is still happy to have come away with a memorabilia.
I did it to the finals and I lost against the 2015 gold medalist. So I lost in the grand final. So I got silver. But this is not, at least I got something to take back home. So I'm so proud of myself that I got silver.
Unfortunately, gold medal defender Thaddeus Katoa settled for silver this time, having gone down to Samoa by a majority decision ruling from the judges. Something that a lot of people did not find fair, including Katoa, who accepted silver despite putting up a good fight.
Even winning Samoa, but somehow all judges even win Samoa. So I'm not something I'm right. Let the game stop. So. While
debutant Warren Warupi fell short of gold medal in the 69 kg division.
We fight 69 kg division. Me gold, so me come finals one time. Someone Samoa winning the finals. Mixim silver. Next time, we come back strong. Simple.
Congratulations to the boxers.
Yeah.
Well-deserved medals, some of them. It's a very young team, I see.
A very young team, and despite not winning enough medals that we wanted to win, PNG did exceptionally well, and we went away with 3 gold, 5 silver, and 1 bronze. And I think, we've got 3 more years to prepare ourselves if we want to win back those medals. But congratulations to Team Boxing that went to Samoa to represent the country. So, it's...
Congrats to the boxing team. We'll head out for a few short messages and we'll be back with tomorrow's sports scene.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching Sports Scene now. Still on boxing, a newly established business, Fight Promotions, a boxing club, will host its 2nd event of the year. But this time, an international bout between Papua New Guinea, Australia, and the Philippines. The event will witness 3 international bouts or title fights, the amateur fights, to open the show.
But are set to support Stop Violence against women and children. This time, it'll be PNG's best against international fighters. And representing PNG and the Manus Island is Ezatullah Kaka, who have been training at the Aquatic Center in preparations for this weekend's fight. The other PNG fighter and PNG champion is Junior Raka Kauko, who has also been training with the rest of his PNG fighters. He will take on his opponent from Philippines, Alan Valespin. Also, another international champion and current PNG champion is John Korake, who is training hard. Korake will take on his Australian opponent, Jordan Samadali. Also giving a helping hand is Marketo of PNG Boxing Federation, who stepped in to help the fighters better their ring techniques before the big day.
At the beginning, you can see there's professional boxers just giving them some tips on how to defend themselves during competition with active defense and passive defense.
He says it's good to see that professional boxing is now finding its feet to start fresh, or with whatever they can do to revive the sport and help support those fighters. Gates for the tournament open at 12 p.m. and the fight is start at 4 p.m. Ringside seat per person is going for 1,000 kina and ringside table for 10 at 10,000 kina. A percentage of the takings will go towards supporting the campaign against violence on women and children and the Cheshire Home Services.
And to kickboxing now, and 8 fighters under Marksman Promotions will travel to Australia for a Sydney showdown in August, not only to showcase and expose the fighters, but in the hopes of impressing promoters and securing contracts. Also included in the group is 3-time world champion Jonathan Tuhu.
With 3 of its fighters already fighting under local promoters in Sydney, President of Marksmen Promotion Mark Sondo and manager John Michael are hoping that this time around more fighters will be able to secure promoters.
We have about 10 fighters. There's 12 fights in total. Papua New Guinean fighters have been under Marksmen Promotion. We've been invited, but out of the 12, 10 are ready to go down. And all of them, there's no title fights yet. This is the biggest team we've taken down so far.
With 10 fighters all set and ready to fight, present is President Mark Sondo, who's also making a comeback.
Yeah, our headhunter champion, he retired, but his opponent still exists. He never retired, so he probably retired with me on the ring on 17th, so yeah. I'm looking forward for that fight. He's been training hard, so as I don't think it's going to be the easy fight for me. He's been in the ring, he's a master in the ring. So if I win this fight, it's a good big step mile for me.
So Sydney, in Australia in general, there are some of the best fighters from the country are coming down for that event. So it's not only Sydney's best, but Australia's best coming to take on PNG's best. Even though we are not the whole team representing the whole country, but we try our best to represent our country, and we've been dubbed the PNG's best team, so we're proud to have the honor as the PNG's best to represent our country.
The team is also taking with them and competing is three-time world champion and current PNG champion Jonathan Tuhu.
From this fight in August 17, I am ready and I want to win this fight. Yeah. If I win this fight, it's gonna make me like push my moral up to the next fight. So I think this is the fight that I must win.
Mark says the aim is to make each of the fighters in the group a PNG champion.
The aim in Marksman Fight Promotion aims to take the fighters abroad, just to make the opportunities, just to leave them behind. But they love the sports, you can't just train every time you train in fighting here. You need to expose these fighters. They have some good talent. Probably they're not good in kickboxing. Some of them probably good in boxing or karate, whichever discipline. It depends if they're in the ring, and then they'll choose the disciplines they want.
So this time around, we're asking through the media if any good persons out there, good hearts, please, we need your support to help us represent our country.
Management for Aquatic Center to give us an opportunity to train here. I mean, we're willing to come back, and we're willing to help if the management, whichever way they can, we can help to train other PNG public to come in to train to get their fitness and anything. They help us, so we need to give something back. So the boys are here to really help anyone can come and just train. So probably they can see the management, and then management can talk to us.
He says the team is going to Australia not to represent their own province, but to fly the PNG flag high for the country. The team is expected to leave in the second week of August.
So what's happened with Marksmen Promotions? It's a newly established kickboxing club. So what he's trying to do is, most of these men that are in the group are all unemployed. So they've had some sort of employment before in the past, but now it was always to do with kickboxing. And with the sport being, it's died out a bit, and now everyone's making a comeback. So the aim is for them to be exposed in Sydney, and hopefully promoters will see them for not just the sport itself, but for the talent and what they can offer or bring internationally. So hopefully they can get to train under those promoters in Sydney and make some income for themselves.
And also, this is boxing. This is now not kickboxing, but boxing. We have boxers from Australia and Philippines flying in later on this week.
Yeah, actually today.
Oh,
they flew in today, yes.
Oh, they flew in today.
Yeah. Well, it's also a newly established club as well, or a company, Fights Promotion, under the patron Ben Micah. So this is the first time they're hosting the international bout in PNG as well. They've gone ahead with their first one. It was successful. And now they're hosting their second bout for this year. And hopefully it will be a success. So we go out there, purchase some tickets and support our PNG kickboxers. Yeah.
The fight's going to be held at the international
Sejong
boxing fight.
Yep.
It's going to be held at the Sejong Guys Indoor Complex. The female kickboxers fight is going to be the world title fight. Will be held at Sports Scene in September, on the 14th of September. So that the winner in the female kickboxing, the winner goes on to fight an international fighter who's going to be coming over in October. Yeah, so really interesting times ahead for boxing, international boxing and kickboxing.
Anyway, we have to take a break. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories right here on Sports Scene. Welcome back to Sports Scene, to Rugby League now. The Coca-Cola Schools Rugby League National Confederate Championships for the 4 divisions: under 14 boys, under 16, under 18 boys and under 18 open girls held the Oil Search National Football Stadium in Port Moresby last week from Tuesday 23rd to Friday 26th July 2019.
The tournament started on Tuesday 23rd of July with the under 14 boys, and on the 24th of July it was the under 16 boys. On the 25th it was the under 18 boys, and it concluded with the under 18 girls on the 26th of July. A healthy crowd turned up to show support for the Northern, Southern, New Guinea Islands and Highland Schools Confederate teams. The 4 teams played in a round-robin format, with all teams playing 3 matches each over the course of the day. Schools Rugby League rules are allowing 20 minutes each half. The action on the field was good, with Southern in white and Northern in green taking centre stage in a tough match. The Southern women were tactical in defence, but the Northern women spread the ball out wide to use their speed. The match ended with a 4-all draw. In other results, the New Guinea Island women proved to be a classy side in both defence and attack, causing an upset to the Southern Confederate team. The Highlands Zone team arrived late due to a cancellation of flight and a downgrade of the plane by Air New Guinea. Northern Confederate coach Peter Alu, based out of Ramu, is happy with the talent on show over the 4 days.
I can see the competition is very strong within the 3 zones, including Northern. And I appreciate School Rugby League is one of the development programs that we are running. Some of them are teachers are running the program, some of us are volunteers.
He thanked those who made it possible for the teams to take part in the Confederate Championships.
Especially I want to say thank you to Ramu Heko Industry for giving us t-shirts, caps and a house to accommodate our girls to stay and train. Lastly, I want to say thank you to Coca-Cola company to look after us and to get us this far, to play and enjoy ourselves and to promote the rugby league code in the country.
From the trials, the under 16 boys and the under 18 boys and girls will select teams to travel down to Australia to play against teams in the states of Queensland and New South Wales. Alu has had much success in Women's Rugby League over the past years, with a few of his players from the Northern Conference making it into the national women's team, the Oil Search PNG Orchids.
Back in Ramu, I started the program Women's Rugby League in 2015, and 4 of my girls representing PNG Orchids. It's Shelley Jo, Grace Mark, and Jacobet Walker, and Agosita Barro. And I myself, I coach them in my team. They represent Team PNG.
Alu and his fellow teachers and volunteers who give their time to promoting schools rugby league want support from members of parliament to to help to expand the school's program across the country to help develop the sport, which a lot of adolescents and children take part in.
I want the program to be to go bigger in the region or in the districts. I want my district MPs to, like Wishnubudi, we are living in the remote area. I want my governors and district MPs to look forward to develop this program.
Now, Papua New Guinea's performance at the recent 2019 Pacific Games highlighted to the nation the importance of its women folk who, despite tough challenges, brought back a staggering 29 gold medals in total, over double that of the men.
Samoa 2019 presented for Papua New Guinea the chance to really show its dominance as a power in sport in the Pacific. With a failing economy, rising debt levels, crime in some areas shocking, this was the opportunity to tell the rest of our island neighbors that PNG had much more to offer. And its contingent of athletes would be the ambassadors of a nation that for so long had had a darker pall cast over it. And sport was where PNG's true heroes had always united the nation. In 2015, riding that wave of home support, Papua New Guinea dominated in the track, the field, the pool, pitch, court and ring, raking in medal after medal. But gone were Ryan.
Has he got it? Yes, he has. He's got it. 23-10.
There was no Nelson, and none of our hunters were in the nines.
10 metres out, Papua New Guinea for dummy up. Too big, too strong. 3 tackles later, the try score.
The task inevitably made harder by the emergence of future stars, as yet untested. Tennis star Abigail Terra-Apisa bore the nation's standard on opening night. A moment she spoke of with pride as she looked to retain gold from 2015.
Hi PNG, this is Abigail. We're only a couple of hours away from the opening ceremony and I'm really excited to lead Team PNG this evening. And we're also less than a day away from competing and we hope to give our best and we hope that you guys supporting from home and wherever in the world you are.
Dominating in the courts and eventually facing off against her niece in a 2-set victory.
After such an exhausting 2 weeks, I think I'm going to take a week or two off just to recover and rest a little bit and see my family and my friends. But I think I'm going to get back on tour again in 3 weeks, I'd say, probably starting off in Asia first and then America.
Weightlifting's Lika Toa remains a shining light. Coming back out of retirement, she bore her weight of expectancy in an almost serene fashion. Toa lifted an amazing 175 kilograms, winning gold in the snatch and clean and jerk.
I'm feeling great at the moment because I've won the 3 medals and I'm so excited for Papua New Guinea because we've worked so hard for it. And now that we've got the 3 golds, I'm really happy and I'm sure there will be more coming with Team PNG, especially in weightlifting.
Powerlifting flew under the radar. Linda Paulsen, Oceania champion, Commonwealth champion, world champion, inspired her own crop to a 5 gold haul.
Me have master soul because the first week we me been step number 6. Na time me play look sim gold me sabe also by me play medal tali play me go on top so me have master lo. Me play sim gold but ikat support ikam lo nar plus sport lo working na yumi capable semi.
Women's football had no national competition and hadn't had one in over a 2-year period. That a handful of women could be selected with no domestic league, no international fixtures in the lead-up, yet go undefeated with a combined 23 goals, conceding 5. Prior to their departure, co-captain Lucy Minor had been excited at the prospect of adding more to PNG's growing souvenir collection.
So it's super exciting. Like you said, I'm back reunited with some of my teammates and of course a lot of new girls. So it's been exciting, a lot of new talent in the team. So that's exciting to see how we're gonna come together as a unit.
Fast forward a month, and she was joined by the Football Queen's longest-serving player and now multiple Pacific Games gold medalist, Deslin Sinio.
In PNG, in terms of women's football, there's a lot of potential, and I think one of the biggest challenges is to identify those potentials and develop those skills, because I know that PNG women's we can go for the 6th gold medal in Solomon in the next 4 years. So
being able to allow that to flow, because we all had one common goal, and that kept us united, kept us focused. It was honestly really refreshing, and just to see women's soccer continue to grow and develop in different levels.
We'll head out for a few short messages, but more on that story coming up after the break.
Welcome back. You're watching Sports In. We'll carry on with the other half of the Pacific Games highlights of our women folk.
While that result may, however, been underpinned by their ranking as favourites prior to the Games, it was an additional inspiration when the day before, the women's touch team equalled its men's result by winning gold on a muddy Samoan field. And a surprise in boxing from a girl who pulled out of school to focus on training.
Oh, I felt so excited, and I'm speechless.
I know. Okay.
I'm happy I made my country proud, and my family and friends.
And this was your first Pacific Games?
Yeah, this is my first Pacific Games, and I'm looking forward to take part in another game.
New Caledonia, after just day one, were already leading the medal count. No surprises there. Out of 15 previous games, they'd only lost it 3 times. They ruled the pool, racing away to an unassailable lead before half of PNG's contingent arrived in Apia. But while New Caledonia had their swimmers, Papua New Guinea had their track stars. And it was the track where PNG women shone, collecting 28 medals, 11 of those are shiny yellow.
Girl, fantastic run the other night.
The 5,000.
And the 5,000.
What was going in my head was I have to run better time, because I know there was nobody at my back, but I have to race myself to improve on my timing. So I ran my best time that day too, so I was happy.
Like me stopping well family for 2.5 years now. Lo me winning sa triple medal na lo go back Laos na celebrate on tamo le me just feeling some big achievement to me.
Sharon Tuako, Annie Topal, Reli Kaputin, Donna Coniel, Leonie Bell, Isila Apkup, Porga Hakave leading the 1-2-3, and Toya Whistle in the 100, 200 and 400 meter races. Toya's feat an unimaginable 3x3, a record that, despite the advances of the rest of the Pacific, will take a long time to break. And all of this, despite her own personal battles.
I think her mental welfare and her welfare in general wasn't considered at the time. These elite athletes, they push themselves to the limit. At some point, they need mental support, and no one saw it like that at the time. So from then on, she missed the Commonwealth Games, which would have been one of her preparational platforms, not only towards the Pacific Games, but to the Olympics as well.
Our sevens women qualified, our men didn't. And while it was a bronze medal, their performance stated, if you can do it, we can too. Basketball was a disappointment, however. Cricket were hoping to pull one back over host Samoa, but lacking numbers and back-to-back matches under wet conditions didn't help their cause, eventually settling for silver. The silver medals were another aspect of comparative results with the men's, bearing in mind that roughly half of PNG's traveling contingent were women. 26 silver medals were picked up compared to the men's 31. Each one of PNG's gold medalist women was asked their thoughts on whether women in sport needed equal or more support. Their answers almost identical.
I think it's really important that women can sort of flourish in sport, so I think it's really important that we push for women in sport as well.
Me have a master lo me like mo athletes lo kam training powerlifting, because me looking more some he got plenty medal who come to powerlifting. So me ask him supposed to say that Mary stop again come na training powerlifting.
It's kind of hard, but it's like I need more people to run, so the competition will be high.
Women empowerment, I think that's important. Giving the women, a chance in life, and this is what, women can achieve a lot of things.
Yeah, look, attention has always been not so equal, especially for women's and men's participation in sports. That you'll see there's more attention given to men's participation, whether it be soccer, whether it be rugby league, or any other sport. But it's time to give credit where it's due and invest where you'll see a lot of returns.
Yes, and congratulations to the Team PNG women folk who participated at the recent Pacific Games. We'll head for our short messages, and when we come back, we'll wrap up the show.
Let's have a look at what else is coming up this weekend.
Yes, we've come to the end of the program now to feature your stories on Sportsin, or if you know of an amazing sports story or event that you would like us to feature, you can email us at sports@emtv.com.pg. You can message us on Facebook or call us on 312-9200.
Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll leave you with some highlights of the 16th Pacific Games in Apia, Samoa. I'm Elijah Levet.
And I'm Godwin Eki. It's good night from us.
Good night, PNG.
I think it was awesome. I mean, you look at all the kids dancing, 3,000 kids. How do you coordinate that many children and make it look so good the way they did? They did a really good job.
The fire dancers and how many students that were out there online put in a good show, and it was really good closing ceremony.
I think it's very spectacular. And thank you, Samoa, for very nice hospitality.